there's the Australian team on the field for this one-off international against France. The ground in superb condition, and the Australian lineup. There are 6 survivors from the 2 tests in France in '83, where Australia drew the first and lost the second, but 7 of the all-conquering Grand Slam unit. Only Bill Campbell is new, replacing Steve Williams. David Cody has been coaxed out of retirement in the back row. And of the backs, only Michael Cook did not play in the Grand Slam campaign. Daniel Dubroca leads out this crack French outfit, the joint European champions in 1986. And they're after that World Cup crown next year in Australia and New Zealand. There are 6 changes to the French lineup, which beat Argentina 22-9 2 weeks ago. The Argent fruit farmer Daniel Dubroca heads up a beefy, powerful front 5, with Portelin and Serriere winning their first caps. In the backs, the fastest 3-quarter line in international rugby, and fullback Blanco is in a class of his own. So the referee for this afternoon's fixture from the Liverpool Referees Association, Mr. Fred Howard, the 37-year-old sports retailer, a former player with Waterloo, and on the England international panel since 1983. He refereed Australia Connectly on the Grand Slam Tour, and also France and Japan in those 2 internationals. With me is Mark Ella, and I know, Mark, you're very keyed up about this game. How do you see it?
Well, I feel that Australia can get up and beat France today. Obviously, after last week's performance against Queensland, most Australians, I think, favour the Frenchmen, but in fact, I feel a little bit hyped up. It's going to be a very hard game, but Australia can do it.
Test match underway, France-Australia, SCG 1986, and immediately La Gisquet mishandles the ball and doesn't find touch. Lynagh coming in, McIntyre called for it, Far Jones to Campese. He's gone for a big drop goal, Blanco underneath. This is Jean-Patrick Lescarbura, and finally the French settle things outside their 22. There he is, the Ducks diamond, Lescarbura. Missed the international series this year with a broken leg. And the referee right in the line-out tunnel at the moment, asking for the gap. 4-man line-out from Australia. Cutler and Campbell got it. This is Poitevin, inside Rodriguez, 35 metres out. Lawton to Far Jones. Far Jones sniping brilliantly. Lynagh's inside. Campese's there. 10 metres out.
Again, we've seen the sort of variation that Australia will need if we're going to win today. Far Jones ran down that blind side beautifully, drawing the French defence before getting the ball out to Campese.
Australia has a good record against France at the SCG, the only loss being the initial match in 1961. When Pierre Albaladejo kicked 2 field goals in the first 15 minutes from around this area. Berbizier, the scrum half, throwing into the line-out. Good jump by Serriere. The new cap, the big second rower. Australian forwards have pushed the French back about 5 metres.
That was a great push by the Australian forwards so well in this match. If they've got to assert their authority, they've got to do it up front, and it's good to see that all the guys are really getting together and pushing those Frenchmen backwards.
So the scrum screwing round, and referee Howard telling the halfback to square it up, please. The goal line away to the right. We've had just over 2 minutes of play, and Australia pressing for the first score of the game. Burke in on the short side. This is Lynagh. Cook still going. Ball lost ahead there by Australia. Mistake in midfield, right in front of the goalposts.
Australia have really got to hold that ball. Cook took the ball across the field and unfortunately lost it when we looked like we were in a good attacking position. Frenchman on a whistle-stop tour of Argentina, Australia and New Zealand. And in the second row, free kick here. Lynagh in good position for an attempted drop. Here it goes. Michael Lynagh. And he's missed it from right in front. Well, Mark Ella shaking his head.
I'm sure Michael Lynagh is too.
Well, I think he's a little nervous at the moment, but Michael, that would have been a very easy chance for him. Unfortunately, he rushed it a little bit. The pass from Far Jones came very quickly, and he dragged it across. It would have been nice for Australia's sake to get those points on the board very early.
Brendan Moon now, Australia's most capped winger, over halfway. Just throwing the ball away though. Champ there for France. Now Rodriguez. Lajusque outside. Lynagh the tackler. Also there was Campese.
Again, this is what France did so well last week against Queensland. They picked up that loose ball and they make every opportunity a winner. And on that occasion, we just, again, shown that we just can't afford to drop ball.
So now we're down on Australia's half. 30 metres out. All reserve tickets sold for this international. Lescabura. Sella coming through. Matthew Burke underneath. Burke couldn't handle. Here's Tyneman. No advantage there to the French. Australian 22, no score. 4.5 minutes gone. France with a weight advantage in the forward pack. 145 caps. Australia 88. But France outweighing Australia by about half a stone per man. 836 kilograms to 808. Australians may have spoiled. Far Jones. Burke. He's pumped that one up the touchline. Serge Blanco. Foot into touch? No. The foot went into touch, but he didn't have possession. And that's not a bad reply.
That's a fantastic reply from Serge Blanco. He was under pressure. Burke was almost upon him, and he virtually pirouetted and put that ball back down the sideline with no angle at all.
10-metre line, Australian territory. Campbell at number 2. Serrier got 2 hands to it. Dubroca, the skipper. Good control, Berbizier. Now they're looking for the quick ruck. But you'll notice the referee pulling things up straight away as soon as the ruck or maul goes to ground. And the attacking side always has the ball. Pierre Berbizier, again penalised for not throwing the ball in the centre of the tunnel. So that's twice a technical infringement against Berbizier.
Well, already I'd be worried if I was Jacques Faroux. That is a worry. Obviously, there's a bit of pressure on in the scrum, and Berbizier is having trouble feeding. And if they don't fix it up very soon, Australia could take advantage.
Le couloir, on rentre, Jean-Luc, on
8.5 minutes
rentre.
elapsed. Champ at the back, but a loose tap. Tyneman, Poitevin, McIntyre, the prop forward. He couldn't hold on. Well, what a fine surge it was by Steve Tyneman with good support.
It was great support by the Australian forwards. Then, unfortunately, Macca had the ball. He looked around, going forward, and just lost control.
Squeeze in! And now!
Shot from Australia. Berbizier or Lescabura with a good clearance. 35 metres out from the French goal line.
What Australia have got to do, they've really got to put pressure on Lescabura. I noticed then Michael Lynagh come up very quickly, and if you put pressure on these Frenchmen and things don't go quite their way, they're a different proposition.
There's Cutler at the back, winning well. But Poitevin got in the way of Far Jones's pass. Now Champ at the back for France, number 6. Berbizier trying to snipe. He's through. Up towards halfway. Here's the support from Lajusque. Look at the French inside. Intercepted though by Lynagh. Ball lost ahead. Referee plays advantage. Here they go again. Lajusque. Dubroca. But no advantage to Australia for the ball being lost ahead. French very dangerous, Mark, from any broken play situation.
Well, on that occasion, Berbisio ran straight past Australian players, virtually straight through the defensive line, and we've emphasised how important it is for Australia to make tackles today, and they just can't afford to let any player, whether it's a halfback or a front rower, the latitude to make breaks like that.
35 out from the Australian goal line, still no score. And that's a tight head to Australia, the first of the match. And only the second tight head that France has conceded this year. They conceded one in the Five Nations Championship. And a fine clearance by Campese. Well, that will be a great morale booster for the Australian scrum. Jean-Luc Chouinel, number 8. Poitevin and Champ. Poitevin winning out. That's Cutler. Lynagh. Lynagh's kick deep. La Gisquet back there with Blanco. Well, he really steadied himself that time, but the gain only about 15 metres.
I was a little bit surprised Michael didn't put that more air to that ball. That really went to Blanco under no pressure at all. He had all the time in the world to put it out when we could have really put pressure on him by putting it further up.
Two-man line out. Champ coming in.
Pass it.
Well, the Frenchmen really rattled Australian fans with their resounding victory over Queensland by 48-9, 10 tries to 1 last week at Ballymore. Coach Alan Jones says that result has no bearing on this game. And there's a mistake by Lescabura. The sort of thing you don't expect from an international standoff. Inside his 22, he simply had the ball into touch before he caught it.
Well, this was very surprising. Lescabura had that ball covered. He had it in his hands. I think he was looking to see how far down the field he was going to put it.
Now it's good ball for Australia. Tyman trying to slip the far Jones on the short side.
Well, I think that incident just shows how nervous both players are. Michael Lynagh missed with an easy easy drop kick in the first couple of minutes. Lescabura, with no pressure on him, dropped that ball and now puts France under pressure.
Lynagh. Moon's coming in, but Lynagh still goes ahead. 10 metres out. This is the ball Australia wants. There's a big line here. Can they get it out to Campese? Matthew Burke. Rodriguez there, setting it up for Australia. He was first to the breakdown. The scrum going down right in front of the French goal posts.
Again, another great attacking chance for Australia, and I think they've really got to use Campese as much as they can out wide. He's the one that'll bring all the thrust and drive into the Australian back line, and really, they can't use him enough.
Scrum's collapsed. 13 minutes gone in this international. France to play New Zealand at Lancaster Park next week. Campese follows. Blanco's there first. No mark. And he's carried over the goal line. And Campese almost rents the ball out of his arms. 5-metre scrum. And
again, that's a better ploy by Australia. Instead of taking the Frenchmen on, they're up very fast, and it's to Australia's benefit to put those little chips over all the time, putting pressure on the Frenchmen, turning them around on every occasion. Australia have been practicing a lot of moves where David Campese comes outside or inside Andrew Slack. I wonder if they use it on this occasion.
French backs caught offside there. Campese. Now it's a chance for Burke. Moon. Brendan Moon. No one there inside. But those French backs have been ruled offside. The referee was playing the advantage. And, well, Michael Lynagh could throw this one over the crossbar. It's so close. Only 8 metres out. Australia in the lead by 3 points to 0. And we've had nearly 16 minutes of play in the first half.
Australia now 3 and France yet to score.
I must say I'm very impressed by the way Australia have started. They're very determined. They're getting right on top of the Frenchmen, and hopefully we can continue to do that for the rest of the match, not give them a chance.
Well, this is Australia's first test match at the SCG since that Grand Slam triumph in 1984. And the build-up has been one of continuing on where they left off at Murrayfield. And again, Lynagh not handling this new ball. Campese. And he's given that a nice thump. Up towards the halfway line, 5 metres short. He's been playing rugby for only 6 years, but now rated one of the world's most exciting attacking players. Referee Howard calling again for that half-metre tunnel between the two lines. Well cleared by Far Jones. Now it's slack. Tackle was high, right round the neck. So the French conceding penalties in the early stages. For Australia, 0 to France.
That was a little bit fortunate for the Australian side. Looked like Eric Shump come in and really just grabbed Andrew Slack around the shoulders rather than a head-eye tackle.
Prodigious kick here by Australia, but just centimetres inside the touchline. And what a tackle from Moon. The second most capped Australian back of all time. Today, Brendan Moon in his 33rd test, now only 2 behind John Hipwell.
It was great work by Brendan Moon. He was virtually up on his own. Blanco tried to step around him, and to Brendan's credit, he really put him over that sideline.
He's a high Gary Owen from Lynagh. It's all with Blanco. And what a superb take under enormous pressure right on the goal line. Lynagh. But certainly the French have been startled by the commitment and the aggression of the Australians in this first 20 minutes of the game. That's the 22-metre line. Campbell jumping well at the front. Rodriguez went in to lend support. Good control by the forwards. Lynagh, field goal attempt. But again, he's wide. That's his second attempt at pot. That's a big dropout by Lynagh. Campese. Sizing up the situation, he's following. Another tester here for Blanco. Look at Campese. Heavy clash of bodies. Blanco's been floored. Now the French counter-attack. Charvet. There's the pass to Bonneval. And still Serge Blanco is lying on his stomach. Big crowd here at the SCG, around the 30,000 mark, giving Blanco a warm round of applause. Cutler won it. Far Jones sidestepping his way through the French forwards, and quickly back in position. Australia going forward that time. Morocco going down on this side. Philippe Morocco, the 26-year-old number 1 for France. 2 scrums very low. And twisting the scrum, pulling it down, says the referee. Again, the French scrum found wanting. That's Portola, the new cap, number 3 at tight head. Oh, that's a brilliant kick by Lynagh. A gain of nearly 40 metres. Australia back up near the French 22. Tyneman at the back, Champ. But offside there is number 3, Claude Portola. He was in an offside position. I think he was beyond the last man in the line-out before the ball had reached that position. So that's a elementary line-out penalty. Lynagh's second attempt at goal. He struck it pretty well. Fine start for the Australians. All points to Michael Lynagh. 23 minutes gone now in this first half. Australia has played France on 15 occasions. The French well ahead, winning 9-4 with 2 draws.
Nothing stupid. No bitching to the ref.
And again, those tactics of playing the ball deep over the dead ball line. But so far, we've seen nothing of the talented French back line. They have been deprived by the excellent performance of the Australian pack. Blanco, Campese and Slack up. Blanco follows. Bonneval to Blanco. Sella, brilliant play. The support is there for Champ. Slack was there for Australia. Now it's Champ. And the referee has awarded the try to Serge Blanco. His 16th try in a test match. And that all happened so quickly. There was no knock-on by France. And the tricolours back in the game.
Really, it all started before that, Gordon, when there was no winger for Australia to take that extra man. Blanco, I don't know how he kept that ball alive. Sella looked as if he was going to be tackled. For some reason, the ball went astray just about here. I think the referee ruled that Australia fumbled with the ball and really, it was a bit of a mess there, but Blanco came up with the ball.
And the toe style of Lescabura is well astray.
Australia 6 and France 4.
But the referee may have ruled that the ball was tapped sideways. But certainly some suspicion about that French try. Lagisquet.
But we talk about the danger and France's attacking flair. Australia completely dominated this match for at least 20 minutes. France, on one occasion, they broke away and the result was 4 points.
French line out win this time. Well, that pass has gone to no one. Lescabura, hurried kick into touch. A wild pass there from Pierre Berbizier. Campbell at the front. Lynagh. Now it's Cook straightening. Setting up the play. Australia with Campese on the short side. Look at the overlap. It's a try to Campese. Oh, brilliant play by David Campese. He's over for his 16th try in a test match. The 2 fullbacks with the first 2 tries in this game. And that's a 6-point margin for Australia. And 2 Frenchmen collided there on the side of that scrum.
It's great work by the Australian side. That ball was set up by Michael Cook in the centre. Quick ball with Rodriguez and Farr Jones combining to send over David Campese in the corner.
So skillful work by Topo Rodriguez. Campese saw the 2 French backs down. Oh, what a kick by Lynagh from touch.
Magnificent kick by Michael Lynagh. It was a tremendous kick.
100% record for Lynagh from his 3 kicks.
As we see again, Topo peeling around that blind side, feeding Farr Jones. Campo showed a clean pair of heels to outrun Lagisquet.
Well, there's a little Australian supporter, and that, Mark Ella, is Trevor Allen's grandson, Aaron, and his daughter, Lee.
He seems to be enjoying the day.
Let's hope that Aaron turns out as good a player as grandfather. Andrew Slack has marshalled the Australian backs exceptionally well in midfield. He has the ball now, and here's Campese. He was met that time by Charvet. Now it's Lynagh. Moon for the corner. Lagisquet across. And what a fine tackle it was. But Australia almost over the French goal line again.
It's great work by the Australian side. They're really throwing the ball out wide, keeping it nice and tight and really varying the plate and really stretching the French.
Brendan Moon's only 2 tries behind Campese. And still it's Serriere and Steve Cutler. No problems, please, says Mr. Howard to Patrick Serriere. Skylab versus the Eiffel Tower.
51-68.
Steve Timon up at the front.
Come on.
Knocked forward by Australia from the line out. 35 metres out from the French goal line. Australia leading France by 12 points to 4. And another mighty shove from the Australians. Michael Lynagh has put it high again for Blanco. He's Cook. Blanco took it brilliantly, and the pass away. And the penalty has been given to Australia for a high tackle.
That was a blatant high tackle by Champ on Michael Lynagh. Michael puts it up here, and you can watch Champ come in. First he knocked him over. It wasn't necessary at all, and just puts France under more pressure.
Lynagh has 3 out of 3. Lynagh has 4 out of 4. 11-point lead for Australia. Just under 7 minutes before half-time.
This is really a pressure time for France at the moment. They've really got to start making some more attacks. The forwards are not getting the possession they would have liked, and they're going to have to try things, and that's where it's also dangerous, because if the way the Australian defensive line is now, they can create more mistakes themselves rather than doing good things.
Referee Howard has kept superb control of this game so far. The French have been caned in the penalty count by 7-1. That was the story at Ballymore last week, when Peter McPhillips from the ACT penalised France by 15-1, but they can only blame themselves. Campbell tapping the ball back for Australia. Rodriguez to Brendan Moon. This unusual tactic of the halfback throwing into the line-out. One there by Joinel. Now the backs will use it. Sella. Well, they don't want to use it, it seems. Well, this is not the composed and brilliant French side that we saw last week, because they are being put under heavy pressure by Australia, both at back and forward. 10-metre line. Well, France had an extra man in the line-out. Referee plays advantage. Sella's back there. He went without it. Now it's Rodriguez. Big drive from the Australian pack. The French in disarray. Farr-Jones has it. He follows. Berbisier's there and carried the ball over. 5-metre scrummage. Farr-Jones says, well done, but I want the ball.
So we see Berbisier going back like a good halfback, covering that mistake.
Lynagh to Slack. Here's Campese again. But offside there, or crossing, I think. Some shepherding there by the Australians, obstructing the opposition. And so they've let a golden opportunity slip from their grasp.
There's a bit of misunderstanding between the Australian backs then. I'm sure that David Campese was supposed to get the ball, and as it turns out, Brendan Moon, he ran in front of Brendan Moon.
Well, the important thing now for Australia is not to let France score in this last 2 minutes before half-time. In fact, the time on the scoreboard is wrong, because referee Fred Howard has blown it up for half-time. And so what a great situation for Australia. 15 points to 4 at the SCG. Start of the second half. Australia with this 11-point lead. And the Australian forwards quite magnificent in the first stanza. The Australian scrum pinching two tight heads. Australia ahead in the lineouts and also winning the scrum feeds. Lynagh. Well caught. Only slipped out of the tackle there of Michael Cook. Good ruck ball for France. They've got to do something pretty quickly. Blanco now to Sella. Back to Blanco. He couldn't handle a bad pass. And these Frenchmen certainly not showing the cohesion and support that we saw last week. Halfway line. Kick charge down by Berbizier. Sella. He's very quick, Sella. Now it's Lynagh. Couldn't get round Campese. It was a fine tackle. Well, there's Rodriguez stealing the French ball. Fine play by the prop forward. And the lights have been turned on here at the SCG. So we'll have no problems with the shadows here in this second half.
That was magnificent play by Rodriguez and then Far Jones, and finally Lynagh put the icing on the cake. He wanted to put it on his right foot but realised the ball was going down to the left, and just a nice casual kick that gained at least 50 yards.
Well, this match means a lot to Topo. He'd just love a victory over France. And Lescabura aiming for the halfway line.
Lescabura has been very quiet today. I suppose the Australian forwards have gained the ascendancy in the first 40 minutes, but I expected a lot more from him.
That's the halfway line. 2.5 minutes gone, second half. Australia leading 15-4. That was the half-time score. Matthew Burke coming through this time. Lynagh, he took it well, but a fine tackle by Michael Cook again. There he is, number 12. He's pulled off two beauties today.
Again, that was great play by Australia. The tactics put the high ball up. It was a race between Cook and Burke to see who gets there first, and that's what we should be doing.
Well, there's Campese coming through. Tyneman to Far Jones. Lynagh. Now it's Brendan Moon. Matthew Burke's outside. Here's trouble. Bonneval's there. Far Jones for Australia, and he socketed the ball into touch to save a very sticky situation. What a whale of a game Far Jones is having. And look at Topo, first forward there. Well, it looks as though Lescabura is leaving the field. That's the French doctor. So Marc Andrieux or Guy Laporte, I would think, would come onto the field. Lescabura has to see the international doctor as Tyneman breaks clear. Towed ahead by Lawton. And touch in goal. So Lescabura is in the hands of Jeff Vanderfield now, who must state whether he can continue or not. I think there's little doubt about that. And here comes Guy Laporte. Laporte played right through the Five Nations Championship. Lescabura only won his way back in against Argentina. So a very experienced replacement in 34-year-old Guy Laporte. And immediately Laporte in the fray. So after 4.5 minutes of the second half, Lescabura off the field and Australia riding high. Campese putting the ball straight back towards the French goal line. If he was at the MCG, that would have been a 6-pointer. Pierre Berbizier asking the Australians just to expend a little more energy. Michael Cook told there was no need for that. Once he puts the ball on the ground, there's no need to go through with the tackle. Laporte again. Australia leading 15 points to 4. One try apiece, but the goal kicking of Lynagh has been the big difference on the scoreboard. Far Jones. This is Lynagh stepping beautifully. He's beaten 3 men. Now he finds the support of McIntyre. Well, the French tried to spoil. Lynagh again says, let's go, Slacky. Long pass to Campese. French 22. Campese showing the full bag of tricks, that time in limited space. Philippe Sella. Rodriguez, slack. And still Australia applying pressure. Here they go again. Cook coming through. And the mark has been paid to Charvet. Well, that's Eric Bonneval. Blanco hasn't found touch. Michael Lynagh, attempted field goal, 45 metres out. It's pretty close. Is it over? Just out to the left. Well, it's been just out to the left for Lynagh on 3 occasions with his attempted pots.
We just show how confident the Australians are playing in. Michael Lynagh attempted a 45-metre field goal, and it just missed. I think it just went out to the left. Would have been a magnificent goal if it went over.
Low trajectory from Laporte. Campese says, I'll take it. Safety of the 22. Well, Campese was here at the SCG yesterday, just getting a feel for the arena, as were all of the Australians, and he was practicing his punt kicks for the touchline from acute angles. He certainly has been spot on. Serriere. Well, there's a free kick to Australia. It was against Jean-Luc Joinel for leaving the line out. This is a technical infringement by the French. It's not a penalty. And I think Lynagh might either look for touch or put it high. Well, it's going to land just inside the goal line. I think it may have been carried over the goal line by Blanco. And he did well to get his kick in, but it's gone straight to Moon. What a take! Blanco for the return kick. The French have lost it, but it will be a 22. No one calling for the ball that time in the French lineup.
Again, a lot of misunderstanding. Blanco seems to be down again, just outside his own dead ball line area. Great work by Brendan Moon. First he took to both of them. There was no communication between the Frenchmen at all.
Hold still. Hold still.
Jones has kept the ball inside the touchline. Here's Matt Burke. 5-metre scrum.
Again, great work by Far Jones combining with Matthew Burke, then putting that ball into open spaces. A great chase by Burke. Bibizier, although he tried to do the right thing and put that ball out, really had no option but to force it dead.
Well, the crowd really enjoying this test match. Michael Lynagh to Cook. The run around to Campese. He's kicking now for Moon, but Blanco is there.
I'd like to see Australia really take it to the Frenchmen now. They've used to kick as their attacking option, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now that we're gradually gaining ascendancy, I'd like to see the likes of Campese coming in with slack, and that really taking the thrust of the attack to the opposition.
30 minutes remaining in the game. Campese again, playing it pretty safe. Blanco labouring that kick into touch, 10-metre line. He said, there's nothing else I could do.
No. Different ball.
Morocco at the front.
67, 96, set.
He's opposed to Rodriguez. Big jump by Campbell at the back. Lynagh caught by Sean. Cook's in trouble. Well, the Australians not releasing the ball on the ground.
Well, Michael probably took that a little bit too easy. He was going to kick him to side to step. There were no options on.
And the French counter-attacking pretty quickly here after that situation. Good crowd, although I think most were expecting somewhere around the 40,000 mark, but all reserve seats certainly sold here today. Another good line out for Australia. Here's Moon. The bounce beat everyone. Lagisquet gets away from Rodriguez. The fastest man on the field, Champ, to Rodriguez now. That's the French version. 10 metres out. Strong tackle, Australia.
That all started from an unfortunate bounce that favoured the Frenchman. Really caught the Australians unaware. Lagisquet, to his credit, really put the pressure on, and again Rodriguez was up there backing up.
Great defence there from Tyneman and also Poitevin. France desperately needs points. Sella, and now Laporte with a good pass to Blanco, 2-on-2. Campese the tackler. Charvet now to Bonival. Look at the Australian tackling. Now there's space for France. There's an overlap here. Blanco. Australian cover across Lagisquet. Lagisquet for the line. 3 Australians there. Campbell and also Lynagh. 3 metres out.
Great defence by the Australian side. The France are really throwing everything there with Lagisquet, Sella and Blanco really combining well, stretching Australia both sides of the field.
5 metres out. Blanco's in on the short side. Campese, Blanco. Is he there? His second try. Serge Blanco scores his second try of the game, and the Frenchmen are certainly back in business now.
Well, really, what more can you say about this man? Campese did a switch with Lagisquet. The pass went to Blanco. Brendan Moon had him, and it appeared the play was going to stop there, but his momentum carried him through and over the line.
Not a bad reply. So that means there's only 5 points in the scoreline now. So now a testing time for the Australians. France within a converted try of the lead. And that one sliding off the side of Laporte's boot. 23.5 minutes remaining in the test match. Tommy Lawton earning his 10th cap this afternoon. Steve Tyneman. Attempted drop by Lynagh, looks pretty good. Oh, what a mighty kick. Well, that's the tonic the Australians wanted. Just what the doctor ordered.
That was an unbelievable drop kick by Michael Lynagh. He virtually kicked that around the corner. The Frenchmen were all upon him, and it snuck around, I think it was the Champ, and straight between the posts. Exactly as Gordon said, Australia are really getting back into this game.
Blanco with a short kick. Lagisquet couldn't pick up. Look at Slack now. And nothing silly there from the Australian skipper. Lagisquet back for Lynagh's kick. Play back to the 22.
Good tactics by Michael Lynagh. They've really got to drive France back. Admittedly, it was touched dead in goal, but still it brings Australia back on the attack.
Australia in the lead by 18 points to 10. Champ coming through for France. Dubroca there also. Let's see if the French control this time. Well, there's a penalty there against Portola. Something went in on the short side. The French are pulling their hair out. Michael Lynagh has kicked 4 from 4. This to give him a personal tally of 17 points. He's done it again. Australia further ahead. And Michael Lynagh has had a magic day with that right foot. 4 penalty goals, a field goal and 1 conversion.
Well, again, Michael Lynagh is proving the difference. France have scored 2 tries to 1, but Michael Lynagh keeps Australia near with his accurate kicking, not to mention his tactical kicking around the field.
Good take there by Cutler it was. And Lynagh now really controlling things. He's well and truly in the driver's seat and keeping his forwards going ahead. The Frenchmen, after scoring their second try, really with their backs to the wall now. Picked up by Tyneman. Advantage Australia. Australian forwards again, moving the French 8. Australia 21-10, 17 minutes to go. And now it's Steve Tyneman showing he can also chip ahead. High tackle there on Bonival against Matthew Burke. Campese waiting for his forwards to get onside. And Laporte says we should go for distance and territory. And he's done just that. Matthew Burke powering through here.
Probably a little bit excited, Matthew. He hasn't seen much of the play all day. Thought this was his opportunity to make an impact in the game, and indeed almost took his head off.
And Campese, ever present from fullback today also. He's had a roving commission, and he certainly has been all over the place. Cutler got the main tap. Portelin there for France. Now it's Champ. Champ, the big flanker. Back to Rodriguez. France threatening danger. Here's the overlap. Lovely hands. It must be a try. Sella. Philippe Sella has scored for France their 3rd try after a mighty surge by Eric Champ. And the Frenchman refused to give this game away.
Again, we see Champ has been quiet all day, just dying to run with that ball. He makes a very big inroads into the Australian defence before linking up with Rodriguez. Rodriguez, again, takes on the Australian backline for Bissier, and this is where the magic comes about. I'm trying to see who it is. It might have been Guy Laporte then feeding a tap-on pass to Sella, and the man who scores all those tries in the UK scoring again for France today.
So that really is breathing space for Australia.
French try not converted.
Magnificent hands. I think it was Guy Laporte feeding onto Sella, who only knows one way to go, and that's straight over the try line.
And there he is, Le Petit Napoleon, Jacques Bourreau. He's been in charge of the French side for 6 seasons and looking a pretty concerned man at the moment. Campese through on Campese. Campese has done the job all day. Crucial touch find at that time. It had to go out. And he also gave a bit of interest to boot. Eric Champ comes in. Now it's Dubroca. Good work by the French captain, Serrière. Bumps off Cody. The French have a good line here. Australia's waiting though. Here's Blanco. Now it's Bonival. Bonival and Burke. Pass was forward to Blanco. And that is good smothering shadow defence by the Australians. French going straight across field. That one came off a French hand. Australian throw into the line-out. The last test match here at the SCG, Australia beat France by 24-14 as Daytre now sprints over to the line-out. Daytre hails from Nîmes. 7 minutes remaining. Another score here for Australia would wrap it up. Big Steve Cutler. Mounting pressure from the Australian 8.
Again, another player who's really performed well today. Steve Cutler's taking everything in that middle of the lineup, and he's been an inspiration to the rest of the team.
A telling statistic in this game is the scrum feeds. Australia has won those by 8-1. The penalties have also gone Australia's way by 9-6, but the lineouts are now a 2-1 margin to Australia, 20-11. French backs are offside, in close. And now the penalty goes to Australia. No advantage to the Australian team. We might have a look at that incident again from the scrum. David Cody's had his nose opened up once more.
It was quite clear that the France were always offside. Steve Tyneman, to his credit, kept that ball in. We can see referee Howard with his hand out, clearly indicating that France had infringed beyond the advantage line, and was always waiting to the stop of play.
This one would wrap it up for Australia. And that surely is the ball game. Australia ahead by 10 points. Only 4.5 minutes to go. And Lynagh needs only one more point to break the Australian scoring record in a test match. That will equal his record, 2 more to break it. Well, if Jacques Ferrou is the petit Napoleon, Australian coach Alan Jones must be the Duke of Wellington. French now looking pretty demoralised. And really, the Australians can do no wrong. Lynagh has the ball on the end of a string. He's had a day he'll never forget, and he certainly has carried off where he stopped at Murrayfield. 21 points that day, 20 here for Australia. The French still running the ball from their 22. Sella. Berbizier. What a tackle by Cody. And again. Offside play there by the French. And 2 crunching tackles there by Cody.
That was magnificent defence by David Cody, one of the strongest and most robust defenders in Australia. There we see him taking Berbizier, but follows on and goes, poor old guy Laporte.
But this for a new Australian record total for Michael Lynagh. He's done it again. A new Australian record to Lynagh. Australia's total advancing to 27. 23 points to the Queensland University fly half. And the crowd giving him a standing ovation.
Well, a magnificent record to Michael Lynagh. He thoroughly deserved it. He's played well all day. Never missed a goal, and really it's a credit to his talent that he's reached that record.
27 points to 14. It's been a marvellous performance by the Australian pack this afternoon, and Lynagh has complimented them so well. with precision-like goal kicking. He's kicked 7 out of 7. 6 penalty goals, 1 conversion and 1 field goal. There's the long pass now for Campese. Brendan Moon. Campese held back without the ball. Play on, says the referee. Could have been a penalty there Australia's way. We're very close to full time. He's the man of the moment. He's happy to put it over towards the touchline. And for once it didn't go over. Bonival to Blanco. This is Dubroca, the French captain, running like a winger. Knocked down by Poitevin. Time almost up on the clock. The referee about to blow his whistle. The crowd yelling the countdown. If the hooter goes, the referee will blow no side before the scrum goes down. There it is. It really has been a mighty victory by the Australians. Jubilation for Bill Campbell and Steve Cutler. A majestic performance by the Australian pack. Triumph for skipper Andy Slack as he swaps jerseys with Philippe Sella. But the Australian forwards did it all. And Mark Ella, what a goal-kicking performance by Michael Lynagh.
Well, Michael made all the difference. Although France scored 3 tries to 1, Michael Lynagh was superb. He never put a foot wrong all day. And really, Australia were convincing. The forwards laid the platform for a victory again today. And they were simply magnificent.
And now let's cross to David Morrow.
Well, thanks very much, Gordon. With me, Michael Lynagh, 23 points, the most ever by an Australian at a test. Did you know that you'd broken the record?
No, I didn't know. Just had to keep putting the goals over if we were going to win, and we did that, so that was good.
What do you think was the difference between winning and losing today?
I think we really wanted this one. We've won overseas, done everything overseas. We haven't done it for the people here at home. Today was a very meaningful day for us, and we did it.
France scoring 3 tries to 1, but the goal kicking of Michael Lynagh proving the difference on the scoreboard. A personal tally of 23 points, a new Australian record. And the total of 27 points for Australia, also their highest score against France.